There's not a lot of playing room in terms of actual dips and actual hard cover inside plenty of that, inside the most of that circle, especially the center area. That means HOWL, for example, they are currently at least stuck in the dash position. And that means Azarem, for example, rotating in as well, will have to fight them off as well. First one goes down immediately. Rune is going to pick that one up. And that makes it a 3-on-3 fight on that edge. Ooh, that's a massive nade. What a nade from Sheila. That's going to take down Matt. The second one flows through as well. Almost gets the second one. Rune goes down to about 35 HP as well, but not another one flying through as of just now.
As you say that, one love. Oh no, that's a smoke coming in. Second one is a nade, and CC with the double confirmed.
This is going to be one hell of a zone here. Venture, they've been quiet for the most part. Heaven! Oh my goodness, if that isn't a 2-tap, then I don't know. Himman goes down. That's an entry on towards FMG. We were talking about maybe Na'Vi picking up some frags here, but I think it's the same kind of deal for Venture. None of these really have a perfect entry, and there's so many players all around it that they need these kind of entries in order to get going. But they're going to get breached from that back, and that's Voris to open things up.
Wants to get the rest up onto his teammate as well, but they are pushing aggressively forward here. Na'Vi now forced to make the rotation up forward too as they come straight into formulation. Alia through the smoke, runs him and over. Finds one, finds the second. Now Nordsky able to respond.
Elia goes down as well. It was reload speed. Suddenly, it all falls apart. That's certainly the only example left alive, even though that one knock against formulation was achieved. But as you can see, all three of them still standing, and I believe the fourth one actually as well. Example is going to bring things back. Headshot's intense, but how much more can he do? I don't think he's got any nades left. No, he doesn't.
He's got 2 bandages as well, throwing all the flashes that he can. He's going aggressive here. They're trying to make a run back. The safety finds the second with the red dot too. Formulation, you better think twice before peeking into this map, and now they're peeking 2 together, and that is going to be the but actually able to find him and initially 2. Even if he might not get the kill, the fact that he almost 1v4'd formulation there is absolutely insane.
Absolutely crazy. Now, I was talking about them actually going for the kill. It's not going to work out for them. Heaven instead, though, they're going to win their fight, just as FMG does. But maybe that nade is going to put an end to things. He's definitely not going to be able to revive his teammate, at least. Tizzer is going to bleed out, surely. How much more placements can they get, though? Heaven has to pop that first nade. Oh, the timing doesn't work out, and Molotog's going to shut it down. 1 more point to Yeppa, and 1 more point to Exalt.
Then potentially give 4 points away to teams that are just waiting for you on the other side who might be more close confrontation. Yep, we're seeing the blue zone nades come in. Now look at the amount of terrain it prevents you from utilizing. Fate though peeks on over, finds the first one, finds the second with the nade as well as they continue the barrage on through. Now blue zone nades coming in as well. There's no space for AfterAlt at all.
Some of the utility, some of the ammo they have. Not really too much went in, but look at that Exalt. They even want to push out. They want to clear this edge. Ferris to open things up. Maybe he's going to see another one, but there's a ridge down there that they have to stop at, and the nades are being thrown back at them as well. It's not overcommit right now, but I think they do realize that they need to wipe this team in order to have playing ground.
You wanted to use that rock? Well, nope, not gonna happen. It's completely isolated. Fair is forced to back off. No, he didn't see. He didn't see that the car was about to blow up and run straight into the explosion.
Yeah, maybe he can do some kind of lurking. He should see that Naileup has just been knocked, and he's gonna hear that vehicle on the right-hand side. That's such a great look. If he peeks around the corner now, he's gonna get one. He's gonna get the second one as well. What a play coming in from Ferris, and he's gonna single-handedly not only wipe that team, but keep his team alive since his teammates have just died. What a massive play.
Prone inside the smoke up against the wall. He's a solo player left alive for his team. How much damage can you do? Can you find one? Maybe the double here does instantly get Bumble down. So that's one.
Oh, he unfortunately didn't expect that double peek from the Rock as the smoke was fading. He might not even get that flush. But that also means Pod is going to engage now. I think Soul is already waiting for this. They're not even going to go for the revive. They know that Pod is now driving over and potentially trying to engage upon this knock. But the nades so far not going to hit. Limante trying to make something work.
So nades now being lopped on forward. Not sure exactly how many he has available, but only a few would be needed to pretty much isolate that entire ridge line.
Yeah, that blue zone grenade unfortunately doesn't touch the Rock. You should have maybe thrown that a little bit more carefully. Doesn't matter, as that second grenade is going to hit, and that makes it a 2-on-4.
Yeah, so much utility available again. I mean, there's nothing they can do. They've been up against a team who's been fighting up close the entire game, and now here they come full speed forward. They do lose Levante. Will get flushed as well, but here comes Akatori, Rux, and the last remaining player on the team Pin as well, peeking on forward. Again, plenty of utility, full level 3 vests as well. They've been sitting in the compound practically the entire game, able to sit tight, have circles come their way. They should come out victorious.
Rox has to be careful. There's another player on his right. He has to get that knock. If he doesn't, he's going to get trained from the right, but he gets the first one and the second one as well. And there you have it. Pod Samolet is going to get the first chicken dinner of phase 2. And
that's on the screen at all times. We just need to fill up the screen with numbers. All the stats, all the utility used. And Priel, well, we don't need stats for him. All we can see is that he can shoot, and indeed he can. Yeppa taking 2 casualties as he finds the double. No flushes yet, though. So even though the knocks do come through, not a whole lot will come with it. In the meantime, HOWL are burning. They're trying to get away from this, but that molly alone just allowed for Bitfix to send 2 players down the hill.
Yeah, more nades coming down. Wow, even though they did no damage, definitely rules out another spot. Salty's going to be coming close now. And HOWL, they're so pressured inside the Wizard Tower. There's shots coming from each and every single angle. And Salty and Tekers being the only ones down there, still got a massive risk of that.
Yeah, so dangerous, so difficult to make this push as well. But Bitfix is really, really working this angle well. See, last up, Matt trying to stay put, but the smoke's not really allowing them to... Yeah, Salty jumping over.
Okay.
Smoke starts to dissipate. Finds the first one. Gets the flush on one. Now has to reload. But look at this. Here's the cavalry arriving at the second.
Oh, and he gets the hatch on the first one. And he gets the down as well. That could be a huge play potential.
What?
He's gonna get the second one as well. What a massive play. And even though he goes down, Matt is still alive to potentially make something happen. And that also means that double push downhill from BFG did not work out in their favor.
There's no way he's supposed to be able to get the double here. Now, peeks on out, finds the final as well. Wow. One will fall, I believe, but oh my lord.
They're going to stop at the tower first. Interesting,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, they might as well. They just took out HOWL in this exact position, so there's no reason for them not to.
Oh, WINORDIE.
The issue is WINORDIE is sneaking up right below them. I think Rox is in for a surprise, and indeed he is Layush. Able to find the first, and this is going to allow for Sav to push further forward.
That's kind of going to destroy their round, because that also means with them stopping here instead of going all the way, maybe searching themselves a similar kind of position to Orgless.
Away in, and if you're sat solo, there just ain't the whole you can do about it. Now though, the fight pops on the top, but look for Savim to try and third party this.
They need to, and they need to get a move on essentially, because that fight is almost finished. Now the first shot's coming in. Sheila, he takes way too long, but he still gets one. Teammate gets the second one. That's a good opening. Still 2 trades being put out, and somehow it's a 2-on-2 trade.
Sheila found the double, but shot before his teammates were able to assist, but the nade comes through. And just like that, 2 teams eliminated. Issue for them is it did not account for Yeppa. I mean, in all fairness, Savim did the only thing they could.
Being taken out that early, it kind of gives me flashbacks from yesterday.
Yeah, it's somewhat unnecessary, I would say, when you're 4 up and you're clearing buildings and you're going 1 by 1. It shouldn't be necessary, and especially for a team like Navi, who was so good at fighting. In the meantime, up on the hillside, Exalt do get the better.
BBL in the meanwhile, we saw them rotating in very late into Nova with the cars. I think it was only 2 cars, including the first one. They still find the frag ammo inside the city. That's the second frag. Oh, sorry, that's actually the first frag, but that's the first frag confirmed inside of it. And BBL, also a team that just barely didn't make the cut yesterday. They need to put something of a show up today, because I just don't see them. I don't see them going into phase 3. Not that kind of lineup.
Yeah, you would not expect that to be the case. Now, Orgless, they've been trying to defend themselves in this position for a while, but nades coming in from above, and now shots being fired from up close. Somehow, but those managed to find the first, and more damage is coming in from up above, so a bit of help from the sky as Exalt tries to suppress.
Yeah, Solo's only lost that 1 player so far, but they are in a playable position. I'm not too worried about them for now. They've got the vehicles, they've got the smokes, they've got the utility, and we all know that Solo, they can shoot if they want to.
Sure can. I think it just exactly did. Priel is able to find one from Exalt, but that's over the hill. So that's actually the team that is kind of helping them out right now in trying to contain further down the ridge. And you can see they're already being shot at pretty massively from the other side. Weston does fall. Perfect position to try and fend off, but where does Exalt approach on this? Speed forward, do not eat it.
Yeah.
Spraying on through with the Gross on hand, able to find the first. Navi is sat down below doing the exact same thing at Solo. I mean, there's just all visible to examples. MK now as well. More shots fired, more damage done. And this is just the shooting part if everyone sat down in Novo. But Mel, Elliot down. If you are to have just 2 players alive on your team, having Uber and... What? What?
There is no way that just happened.
Wait, what? Just happened?
Did he get the kill points for that?
He got no kills off of it because he got shot out of the car.
Oh no! No!
What?
They
got yeeted off the hill.
Oh my goodness.
We need a replay. Production, we need a replay in slow motion of that after this game is over.
Yeah, it's as you said, it would kind of have to come down to almost a team-like scenario in which both of these you said it correctly. He got killed very shortly before he hit all these players.
I feel like he deserves the kill. I mean, he directed the car in the right direction and everything. I feel like he deserved the points off of that. That was funny. That molly might be perfect. It might just isolate Michael and Clip inside. Perfect timing on that replay too. Thank you so much for that. Let's see here if they can somehow get out of their life. I guess the best case scenario is to get points off of each other and then deny. I think Example denies here, honestly.
Clip.
Even if Example wants to get points, it's teams that are fighting for the top. But what am I saying? It's Example. He doesn't deny.
The question is, does he die before BBL does? Because I think BBL's got less of a... Yeah, they need to move out early, and that means Navi's going to pick up that second place. That is such an important second place for Navi, though.
It is.
Because they've had the circle for almost the entire game.
Rest comes through, but that's the second time CC's down.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it. Still a little bit too slow for my liking. Anyways, Baron is going to get a trade onto him, and that's going to slow things down because they just started to push down there. But the rest is through, and the revive, I think it's been long enough so that the player revive could heal as well. That probably makes it an equal situation again. But Nordskov has got their shotgun. We all know shotguns. They don't. Dude, you don't have an equal situation if the one player has a shotgun close up and the other one doesn't.
Yep, it is not easy. Not easy at all. But things have slowed down, as you were saying. They got the rest on up, and actually it's now from relation, despite them being the ones pushing initially, it's them being at a disadvantage with him and still not having been rested. He's trying to call back. You can see him out there trying to make his way back towards his teammates, but they're all sat inside the same building here. One well-placed nade downstairs. That could be all of Formulation Game.
Yeah, and once again, I do have to say, I'm taking the circle into account with this one as well. It's kind of the worst case scenario. 2 times you get on a hot drop, 2 times the return circle. We said timings are going to be important. But anyways, Global Army is going to open things up. Shotgun in hand as well. He's only got 7 bullets left, but in the meanwhile, that push upstairs is not going to work out either because shotguns are on the other side as well, and they're going to wipe them clean. And FUT Esports are going to head out of Pochinki with 4 men strong and 4 points in their bags. What a start into this game! But right here in this scenario, it's different, man, and we're seeing that right now. Bench it's not exactly an open book so far.
Look at this, Yeppa. They hear the boat, or they hear the plane coming in, and instantly they look to the sky. They fight TAEGO early on. Circle to pop as we see it go west here. They're just going to be sitting still, looking to the sky, ready to take you out.
Yeah, talking about taking out. Yuba's going to open things up. Navi have finally found what they need in terms of confidence. Alga's going to finish it off as well. And that push, it's just going to be... It's absolute devastation right now for because they're not going to leave this unless the last player has been cleared. And from up top, there comes the last frag. Navi is going to start things off in Game 3 as well with a full clean wipe. And that's the Navi we know. So, for the majority, at least, of players, it's only BBL and SRM that are inside the blue zone. And BBL, with the way they're playing outside, I think at this point we can already expect an emergency pickup to come through as well. I doubt they're going to rotate all the way through. But then again, they do have time in terms of timing. But talking about something else, Lucaro's is going to get traded out by Kim.
Yeah, lucky for him, and even more so that there's no one to trade the knock instantly. Iva should be able to get the one. Will it happen to? Yes, it will. Orc too strong. Iva's too strong. As both Clip and Debago falls.
Navi with only 2 players left alive. They have to fight their way in.
Yep, we'll see. Bam, watch a peek on over the top. Alia ain't gonna let him have it. Finds the first one. Instant flush as well, and Bumble being suppressed here behind the vehicle. Nothing he can do to try and assist. His teammate falls. Alia finds the double on the swing around too. Didn't even need the help from his teammate. Able to do it on his own. Meantime, back towards BBL we go. They still have to fend off against the remaining Exalt player's fate. This up close. Ferris just behind him, but Michael and Smash are sitting here with double orcs lined up, and Clip with a third orc in hand, able to take that one, but traded off in return.
Only one player left alive now, and he has to push in. The circle is doing so much damage. Oh, Smash pushes out! And unfortunately for him, he's gonna die to the Blues and actually die to the enemy player, but that means he's no way, shape, or form gonna get revived. I think BBL, they just lost 2 players there for almost nothing.
But I think the decision on them aggressing that direction was smart enough. We'll just see now if Rustin and Michael with the low HP that they have can fend off against essentially the entirety of Orgless. Yeah, oh, that would have been a perfect game. It would have been a bit further to the other side.
Yeah, but the next one is probably going to hit. At least that's a good flash. Nail up in the back is going to do some damage, though. But Rustam gets caught out in the open. That just leaves Michael behind the rock. We've seen him do miraculous things, but that needs to be more than a miracle right now. Maybe that nade is going to make things easier for him in this specific scenario. And it is 2 down for Orgless. And Michael keeps the dreams alive for BBL. They need these points. Sure, they're in qualifications right now, but look at the difference. 4 points only to a non-qualifying spot. Now the nade comes in. More damage. The revive gets put through, but more shots also from Entropiq through these smokes, and they're hitting. Another one down. Vorix is going to make things even tougher. Michael now just needs to fight that one frag, and I think he's going to go for it.
Michael is somehow staying alive here. The pressure is being applied from all the other sides, but Quetpa spots him underneath the smokes.
He's thinking about maybe grabbing that frag on Heaven really quick. He's been the most important fragger for that lineup. Gets one. Is he going to get traded out? Good damage on that second player as well. That is absolutely disastrous for Venture at the moment. Global Army single-handedly ruining their dreams. Tiza finally shuts him down, but Shalom is still out in 4th place, and he still made so much damage in their cup. Oh my goodness, that is disaster for Venture. Both made it into a different position. Mad, if he would have gotten knocked out, it would have been massive. Kepler doesn't have a nade to follow up on that huge damage he just did. It's going to stay on that 4v2.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a better angle on this. Nailcrumb is trying to touch and weave, but can't be. He's pretty much visible all times. In the meantime, now though, Does managed to find one. Lazar's going aggressive on the roadside. Ruin. Does find one in return, but all of a sudden it's a 2v1.
Double knock coming out, and it's a 2v1 as you just said. And Ruin, he's very much with the backs against his wall. He needs to move out of that compound. First shot's coming out from Orgless. But as you said, he's got no utility. He's gonna have to run out all in the open.
Matt has to bait all the attention right now, but he's going for the rest here. Full committed sprint coming forward. Nailcrop now trying to readjust, trying to reposition, using the ridge line to his advantage. Ruin, I love this aggressive play, realizing that he had to go for it, had to full speed send it forward in order to come out victorious. And now, buying time for his team to get back alive, but he has no clue that Nailcrop has just repositioned, sees him instantly, and no best. That is an easy knock for North.
He wants to go for the flash, but shots are already coming back from the rest of the HOWL players. But then she puts him down, and the man is going to pick up that last headshot. And that means HOWL is going to pick up their 2nd win of the day. So I'm excited to see them playing their favorite split, which is the Southern Picado split that we're seeing right now. And look, that's a good opening. 2 frags immediately, but Levante is all alone, and he's still going to have 2 players to fight off.
See now, shotgun and on tape. If it's gonna best the Scar, at least on paper it should. But will that be the case? Not, and if not a shotgun, then maybe the Vector will do 2 very strong up close weapons. Yep, half HP as well. As he comes through, but the timing is off by a split second. Now it's even closer. Once again, it's formulation on the aggressive. I'm not sure how he's running up those stairs.
Walking up there, that's just the way it is apparently.
That's just okay, one spotted down below. Nate's now cooked as well on the staircase. Might find one. No damage done. As a matter of fact, the Simsy, after moonwalking up those stairs, able to take down Global Army. And then Shield Nates in return. Well, that is these apartment buildings for you.
Yeah, it's going to slow down the push, but I think Intense still might want to try to make something work on his own. There's another nade coming in from Sheeta from the outside. Somehow that doesn't touch Intense. Somehow he's still alive. Somehow it doesn't touch him, but the next one comes in. Not skipping Simsy. Knocked down to the ground, and Sheila opens it up again. If Baron wins that 1v1 as well, it is once again a very dire situation for FMG. And it looks like he won't win the fight. He-Man goes down. That just leaves 1 player left alive. And yes, will make it all on his own.
Desperately wants the flash, but Global Army might just have baited him. He was sat behind the wall, trying to touch and weave and get away from it. Oh my lord. And now Intense is like, wait, what? I just saw him in here. Where the hell did he go? Shield up. Ain't gonna sit around, ain't gonna wait. Has a level 3 vest on as well. I like this play. Throw the molly, throw it up there. Get the final kill as well, and that is Intense.
There's plenty of spots on the northern side of it, even outside of Orgless compound. There's plenty of tips you can play, but you would now have to make your way through the Valley, and I mean Yeppa and Entropiq is going to be there. It's going to be ready. Example with a nice tap onto the ground.
People wondering whether or not Na'Vi were coming into today's games fresh and awake. When you hit double taps like that, that's usually a sign saying, okay, Na'Vi's feeling it today, guys. We gotta be respectful about this because they're pretty damn dangerous when they're on point.
These are good flashes, and yes, they are very dangerous, but Alya, unfortunately, a little bit too late. He waited for his teammate, so obviously it's not kind of a wrong decision to be that late, but if he would have picked that earlier, he's probably kicking himself. He's watched the replay, could have definitely gotten another knock there.
Yeah, if there's anything to put a finger on, as when you're waiting anyway, don't waste 3 flashes on that exact same angle, maybe 1 or 2. Save the rest for later, because if that flash hits on point, that is your opponent blinded and deafened for a solid 10 seconds. So when you spam them like that, it doesn't really grant you a whole lot.
He's still looking for that entry, but he's not seeing anyone. He's really scared of this. You could see them grouping back in towards the back of the other houses inside this compound area. And with I think it's who's up there? Because it can't be Alya, is it? Who's up there from Na'Vi anyway? So one of the players has got a really good overview of the situation from up top. Yeah. Ah, okay, it is. Yeah. Anyways, entry goes his way.
Sure does. Alya finds one more. He's kind of been... I mean, I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just the way some of these fights have unfolded today. He's kind of been transitioned from being the flank kind of safety net to now being the up-close threat. And Uber falls here. That's a bit dangerous because as you were saying, as we were seeing just before, he is a player playing up high, so they need to commit on. In the meantime, though, Example does what Example does best. Peeks on in, finds a body, finds a headshot.
Still outside the blue zone. Now Global is finally coming in. Look at that peek, though. How is he still getting one? How is he still getting one? Bombilov, he was kind of right below him. Somehow his teammates still died because of it. His teammate's probably going to be kicking himself.
But outside of that, no. Both the P90 and the FAMAS has come into play. Not too often as the Orc is it's just pretty decent. And you can find it everywhere.
Venture now with one hell of a task on the other side of the map. They're running into that compound. We're talking about it. They're going to get destroyed. Just as WINORDIE is, at least for now. Yeppa with another nade. Been a lot of trouble rotating in. There we have it. Venture just with one player left alive, and that's Vorix. I think he's just found a position where he might just be safe inside that next safe zone, but they are still having a player inside that compound from up back who can maybe support them, but the first knock is going to do enough damage for them to slow down on that push against Park.
Michael, second nade on point.
Never mind.
Finds the double. Does fall in return, though, as Nailpop was able to take him out. We'll see if the res comes through or not as the circle is starting to close in just about 20 seconds. It has swung down towards the southeast, so Entropiq in, but they're currently being contained by Na'Vi.
Michael, man, he's been so on point during these last months. He's been such a key player. He's had his pauses in the international scene, but he's come back in this lineup, and he's been in full effect. Such a key play for that lineup, and he's not stopping either.
Nope, not anytime soon. Not for sure. Quick bump. Now solo player trying to fend off against the team, and it ain't gonna happen. Rustin able to take him down. This BBL takes out Orgless. Agatori with the smoke grenade launcher in hand, trying to grab himself a little more space to play around. Now you can see Entropiq trying to get out, but they were simply sat down here for too long. I mean, Na'Vi always had one player eyeing this position, so they were never allowed to flex out early, and now that they try, it's simply too little too late.
Yes, they've got two players kind of watching that back, and that means only two players really have to watch this whole crossing. Unless Alya goes down or something absolutely incredibly happens coming out in terms of shots from Entropiq, there's no real danger for Na'Vi at this point.
Nah, you wouldn't think so. Now with Venture wrapping over the top as well. Was he? Oops.
Oh,
a reload!
Oh no! Bamboozled. Oh no, you like to see it.
Unlucky, and Enan finds the double flush because, not necessarily because of it, but in response to it as well. Now, here comes Yeppa, the remaining player on their team, to make something happen. Olsing, what can you do from here? Two players flushed as that nade's confirmed. Now Hegatori realizing, or should be well aware, you'd assume, that there's a player just on the other side. Does he go for the fight? Does he try? Let's see if he can get the rest on up. Nope, too late for Pin to get back on up. Smash gets an extra point. So played a little quiet until they had to flex out 5 kills. Still 4 alive as well, but they have to take this fight to HOWL. The issue for HOWL is they have to move in 2 directions here. And that nade, perfect on point. Lhasa falls. Can they get him back up though?
That was a good nade, first of all, from HOWL, and then AfterAlt kind of topped it off with one of their own, but the only real knocks went against the side of HOWL, and the meanwhile, Na'Vi is going to clean up Yeppa for HOWL. They get all of them, and that's 6 kills in the back from Na'Vi now.
Yep. Na'Vi continues to rag up the points. Enan finds his 5th in this game as well. Performance from him and AfterAlt as a whole. HOWL down to just Ruin now, trying to stand up, stand tall on its own. And now Entropiq, well, they had tried to make a play earlier, didn't work out. Now they're forced to make a play, and it doesn't seem like it's gonna happen either. They're ready for it, ready for the push to come through, but Naleb, headshot connected.
What is that from Naleb? That's a massive frag, and he gets a second one. Naleb, how in the hell is he getting these frags? Melman and Yuba have to do it all on his lonesome now. Maybe the nade can give them some kind of space, but surely now maybe Varys comes into play as well. Is he finding an opening into one of these teams? Yuba's the meanwhile is going to get revived. Melman picks on his own. Naleb with the 3rd frag. What is happening?
Absolutely insane hero plays coming through from Naleb as he finds one again. That's the 4th knock onto Na'Vi. He is one-man armying, well, not completely, but almost one-man armying all of the opposition, and Naleb goes it, finds 5 knocks on Na'Vi, will fall to Ruin in the end.
These 2 entries were so crucial towards Na'Vi. Naleb with a massive performance, and now Ruin comes into play. The Zolo gets one, gets a second one. How is this happening in this game? These individual performances are deciding the late game situation. Ruin finally gets shut down with a great peek from Denimon on his own, but that means Entropiq has now got playing ground to push up on this. Lucarix already gets 1 flush. Can Entropiq turn this situation around?
For AfterAlt, though, I think they're very happy that casualties weren't more severe off of that peak from Ruin. Danimon does get eyes on one. You gotta take those shots. He does so exactly. Now Naleb falls. First one down. 3v2 now in favor of AfterAlt.
Yeah, and I think Entropiq's not even going to go for this rest right now. They should expect something to happen from AfterAlt. That flash up towards that rock. Lucario still gonna peek it. Gets a lot of damage. Gets the knock as well. 2-on-2. Lucario on that second peek. Claim is very down. Lucario's with the second one. And can he get the 3rd? All in his nose, and even is going to support him on that last one. But Entropiq, if you've seen clutches throughout the rotation, then this is the game to talk about. Entropiq somehow on a massive win. I mean, they've had massive success so far in these early fights and these isolated fights, but then again, it isn't completely isolated, and now the players are leaving it. That's the nade I was waiting for. If you would have thrown that maybe like 5 to 10 seconds earlier, that would have been a massive entry, but hell yeah, it's going to take that first peak. Exalt intention of it as well. The support in the back is just not happening. Revan, what are you doing with Na'Vi? He gets both of these players. Example dying as well, both of these flashes also, and despite him getting traded out, that's a massive confidence boost for them. That's what they needed.
I'm getting annoyed with this. It's too slow.
Yeah, should we say again that we're not a fan of this? I think we said that already, but great nade. Baron Peak with the underhand throw. Nordskiff is going to go down. That leaves 1 shotgun player up close. That's knocked down. And you can see Baron, he's only got 1 more first aid. Him and is being lurked upon as well. What? Simsy and his teammate, who's that Intense, for the most part, being taken out of the equation as well. They can't really have any impact right now. Not sure if they've got all the information. Apparently they don't. On towards the Southern Esports players. Because right now, they don't have any angles of them looking at that global army on the lurk.
Yep. In the meantime, let's go back to fights that actually matter. As win or die. Try to pull up here on solo. They have made landfall, but it roots him down. Goose fell earlier in the game as well. This is not going to be easy. Extends though, trying to wrap around the side. Doesn't find one as bomb built. He's able to take him down, and what looked like a decent opportunity is now, yep, being completely torn apart. Win or die out. Solo racking up fall.
Rowan is going to drive over his own teammates, who's been shot out, unfortunately. A little bit of a drive scouting situation coming in from them. They have to be careful though, they got driving into Yeppa right now. They are aiming for the same dip. Easy first frag for Uljang, and that should signalize the other ones. They've just stopped right below them.
Yeppa peeks on over. They find the flush on one. So many casualties have been coming already. Roll on back. Trying to get to safety. Oh, that nade!
Oh, the deployable shield! Are you kidding me? That is the new meta, ladies and gentlemen, and that's exactly what they're used for.
Clutch situation right there.
Oh, that's gonna hit though. What? What? Okay, I've seen it all at this point.
Oh, they're still alive, I'm not sure, but somehow able to be exactly that. In the meantime, HOWL on your minimap, coming across the screen, trying to find a place to call there. In the meantime, Samolet, well, they died to blue. 14th place for them. It's not like they had anything important to play for, considering that they are currently sat in 6th place at 31 points. But we'll leave it at that, and hopefully the next 2 games, or the next game, I should say, because there's only 1 left after this one, will play out differently.
I think you just saw the difference between the smoker lane launcher being used and the smoker, if I'm not exactly. So that's how fast it is. You don't need to wait that extra half second before it pops. It's just instant. That's why it's so important that more and more teams are getting, maybe finding a situational advantage with it and maybe start using it more. Because I feel like that's the one utility we haven't really seen too much yet, at least being used. But
we've seen it, but probably unknowingly. I mean, because they take it out, obviously, when, I mean, it doesn't do any damage, so you don't want to be running around with a smoke launcher for too long. So you take it out, shoot early, and then you swap back to your main weapon to catch what's happening. Katie, not really fully aware of where the shots were coming in from Oryx. Peeking on over again, taking out who are they.
Important fight for Venture as well, but going over to Solo, they once again are going to have pretty good isolated fights. This round's going to be Pod. They're fighting downhill, and Pod is in big trouble. These nades are finding their target as well. Good flash as well onto Hakatori, and 2 entries have already been given by Solo.
Yep, the picture-in-picture down on the bottom left side. An important fight to be had here, because the victor of this fight will have a pretty good chance of pushing down this ridge line. Hakatori, though, difficult for him to really get a proper angle. He wants to get the rest onto rocks, but just can't get the angle. Now, though, help coming through. Wow. The Nuggets instantly traded.
And somehow Pin couldn't get that trade. So sad with a 3K together with his teammates. I think BFG is in a horrible spot and they will be picked apart. Same goes for Venture at the other side of the tree. So Solo keeps on being in positions where they can just rack up points. Second knock down there. Sancho's gonna get that second one as well. Kind of tries to catch up with his teammates. 2 of them have already gotten 4 kills each in this round. Shows it actually on 5 at this point. And he's doing a very good job of that.
Dangerous peek on over, though. You can see Priel very hesitant in how he wants to approach this. They know that BBL has pushed up close. They know there's still Venture out towards the far eastern side too. So letting them crawl further forward, letting them hopefully give up their positions before you accidentally peek straight into a crosshair.
Tiz are bleeding out now. No way of reviving him. That's going to be a 13th frag for Solo. My goodness, what are we witnessing here? Solo is just dominating this round. And with a 1 more point, if they get 1 more frag, they will be entering Entropiq territory. We were asking ourselves before, and is Entropiq in the first place? They still are, but they're still inside this game. But not to the degree that Solo is. Quick peek coming in from Rustenmar, and 2 frags immediately.
Finds the 3rd as well. Rustenmar is all the BBL needed in order to take down all of Solo. They're only going to get more points as this game goes on. And 5 out of the 6 up here are still up and alive. As I say that, they're starting to fall. BBL loses Rustenmar, losing Smash now as well, as AfterAlt is peppering them from down below and Orgless from up above. Trying to work together. There's just nowhere that BBL can go here to get to safety.
Absolutely not. I think it's only Michael left alive at this point. He's had massive impact in the last Miramar game, but maybe not this time around. Weston with some good shots. Doesn't find the last tick, though, as Orgless is making his way into that new safe zone, and they want to make their presence known, and that's what they're doing. Unfortunate that they couldn't finish this job against BBL because they're getting shot in the back. But it still looks very good for them. Flush comes through for Molodok, though, because Orgless, they do want to clear this. They've had 2 knocks against them. And even though BBL was up 3, they're only up 2 now. Or still up 2. I should probably say like that. Farmas from up top gets the 1. Smashes 1 HP, but he still gets traded out somehow. Honor is being knocked here, and Orgless, this is kind of falling apart. Only 2 players left alive. They do get that 1 flash on towards one of the players, but still, only 2 players in that scenario. It used to be looking so good.
Yeah, finally, the peak comes over. Finally, BBL is dealt with. But in the meantime, HOWL, as they try to wrap on in from the west side, being completely decimated by AfterAlt. AfterAlt is fighting on all fronts right now. They have Exalt to help them a bit, but able to take down HOWL together. All of a sudden, it's just Laza left alive, and I don't think he's going to get out of here alive. Nope, not going to happen. He falls. 4 teams left alive. Fairest knows that he has to help up, but he also has to be very, very coherent, very aware of the potential push of AfterAlt from the other side. If Entropiq can pace this one right, they might just get the help from AfterAlt that they need in order to come out victorious here. Lurkerooks pushing into the smoke. Little does he know, there's one floating right in the middle of it. Spotted though by Fade as it swings on him. Ivers though, instantly there to trade.
What a flick coming in from Fade, and now it's down to one player. Still, though, that only means AfterAlt has got an easier time of cleaning this whole thing up. Unfortunate that Exalt couldn't finish this fight immediately. That first knock, that just ruined the chances of winning this game at this point. Ivy's still looking for it. Ivy's just gonna find it. Next knock coming in. AfterAlt's trying to clear some of these flushes with the nades, but they don't get any, and Ivy's, in the meanwhile, is gonna clear up too.
See if we can get more going as well. Top 2 guaranteed, and a 1v2 still doable. Not easy, but definitely doable. Entropiq won the previous game. They won this one as well, but Ivers only 18 bullets in the chamber. Not gonna happen as TAEGO claims the last one. AfterAlt, a quiet game for them, but a much needed win. Because where Layers is currently set, that's going to be shifted away from. We'll see. In the meantime, now, who are they? Up against our current third place team of Sancho. He's been on point today. Finds the single, finds the double. Easy peasy for Sancho. Takes him down.
So beat an all-time low, and once again, I can't even blame them for doing this piece. Sancho just shuts it down so well. One trade comes in, Prill goes down. Maybe that's an opening they can capitalize on.
Let's see if we can get something off of it. Wait for the nade. Didn't up to fully commit to it, expecting there to be more threats up close, I think. Nade gone on it, nothing found off of it though.
Maybe that next nade is gonna do a bunch of damage. It's only going into the middle room. There comes the shotgun.
Boom, boom.
And the shotty, I mean, yeah, even the shotty is pretty strong these days. Even the shotty. Katie goes and finishes both of these players solo.
Trying to make their way towards the circle. Schofield isn't with the rest of HOWL. I'm not sure if he didn't get into the car in time, or if he was like, guys, you know what, go without me. It'll be fine. In the meantime, Savim does manage to kill FMG, so they will fall. And Orgless welcoming solo. Vehicle run over, but kills him, return as solo falls.
How many of these are able to get flushed? I think none of them have been flushed so far. There's no one to third-party that. Can you believe it? Not even AfterAlt is looking down on this. That is such a smart move. They knew they can't fight this up on this ridge line. It's an unfortunate situation for them, so they have to leave Lucaris there. But the rest of them, finding a different entry into this is so good, and none of them die immediately. Actually, Lucaris gets the first knock onto Rocks on the other side of the compound, so even him as a solo is doing his work.
Yep, catching the team off guard. Pod has to really kind of adjust to this one. Now it drops down already, and Na'Vi still lingering in the nearby area. Now Pin trying to help, but taken up by that's so far away, down towards that southwest side. Just like that, Pot in shambles.
Man, that's such an unfortunate timing as well. Hakatori almost had that frag on Nailip, but that knock on towards Pin means it's a 3-on-1, and they should get it. Hakatori! Hakatori with another one! What is this?
It's not looking good for them. He needs to rack up extra points if they want to qualify. But look at how many teams are still up and how close this leaderboard still is. Na'Vi currently on the cusp, losing 2 mid-rotation here. It is not looking good for them. They fell short of qualification yesterday, and they will potentially fall short here as well, unless of HOWL or Orgless can find just one more point.
The new circle doesn't include the hills to the north of it that they could potentially play. I'm talking about WINORDIE, obviously, but they can't. So the safe zone is completely clear for them.
Yep, here comes Yeppa full speed forward. They need good nades, and here comes the first 2. Fade able to find the double over the wall there. You can see Molotov and Ferris. They have to come down and support. They have to focus that southern side. But do we see Venture react off of it? They do, but they don't engage. They leave the compound themselves. Fade up close, doesn't find Raven as he takes down one more. Raven does get traded in the end though, so just one more left alive now for Yeppa, going for the rest of the quarter. Very ballsy play in the smokes.
Exalt, they need to win. They need to win this. Gets the first one, gets the second one. 4 points immediately for Exalt, and that means up to 42 points now. That still leaves Na'Vi inside the qualification spot because they've been above them anyways. But now it is time to kick them out, and it's Orgless situation to do so. One more frag has been gathered, and then yeah, the tiebreaker is in Orgless' hands. Na'Vi is out of the qualification spots, but HOWL immediately overtaking Orgless.
Yep, it's a fight for that 6th place spot now. HOWL and Orgless tied. Who can outlast the other? He might just be okay. Issue is Salvim. It seems like they have this jack on their eyes. We see them lobbing over. The smoke launcher Clipto finds one. Will he find more of it? Will the points go over to the team on the other side that really needs them? Not just yet. One for BBL, one potentially for Exalt here as well.
The only thing going for SM right now is that BBL is being held up from nading and shooting downwards from distance, but even that isn't as certain. As you can see, Smash is nading downwards. Next, with a gets taken down, and Baron as well. Michael with that second frag, and that means Yazarem is out as well. And that's going to pose another huge problem for them, because they will not go over to the finals either. They will not make it. All that work they put into these hard drops in Picaro and Pachinki will not pan out.
Not pan out at all. They will fall just short. In the meantime now, AfterAlt being pushed onto by Venture. They need a lot of points. They need them fast if they want to have any chance of qualifying here. Currently set at 25. They pretty much need the rest of the server to go into their hands if they want to make it through here. But with the nades coming over, it's not looking good. 2 down, though, on the side of AfterAlt.
Question is, when is Orgless going to strike at this? Because Orgless already got nades in there. Vorix with another one. Suddenly it's only Dynamo. Paints cleans it up. Venture, they are having capabilities to actually qualify here. If they do get the reses up, it's no one flushed so far. So once again, unless Orgless is going to make an aggressive push up the hill now, which I think they have their eyes on, Denimon, now he's going to take, now, excuse me, I thought AfterAlt was already flushed there, but now he's going to get annihilated. Tizzer picks it up. So unless Orgless is immediately pushing this, they've only got 2 on the front lines. The
HOWL is still alive. HOWL is somehow still in this, and I'm tied at 40 with Orgless. Orgless just need 1 more point to upset this one, to get in front of them, and they're pushing ever so much closer to Venture above, but Quetpa falls from behind.
And now the flushes come
2
through.
down.
Yeah, it's falling apart right now. It's only Tizzer. He's put in so much work so far. He's going to have to make that push work. He has to take out Orgless. That's the one team he needs to take down. He sees the first player. He gets 1 flash in an Org. Is this possible for Tizzer?
No way! How? I mean, Matt managed to cross over the road. He managed to get to the other side. No one is seeing him right now. And Orgless just have 1 more player left alive. They're tied, and Tizzer with your 7 bonus. Orgless finds him, though. 1 point for Orgless. But now the question becomes, can he outlive? Can he outlive the opposition? Matt needs to stay alive, and Orgless needs to do so as well. But Ferris is here, and once that smoke fades away, they are going to be in so much trouble. Matt needs to outlive this in order to get back the tie in his favor.
It's absolutely absurd seeing here in the last game of Phase 2. Exalt looks to make a push on towards Orgless. This is going to be an all-deciding fight, whether or not HOWL or Orgless are going to make it in. No angles being put up so far, but surely it's a matter of time.
It sure is. Who comes out victorious? Who gets to outlive the other? 1 point is the tie, and if the tie goes their way, it will be in favor of HOWL. Quidpup finds the knock on 1, no flushes confirmed. HOWL has no intentions of fighting, but as I say that, the Mad forced to peek on over. Weston goes down. Just 1 more left to be found in order for them to fall, and indeed they do! Just like that, HOWL off of a tie. Mad off of having sat in a shack for God knows how long, able to qualify from staying alive. They make it in. They somehow make grand finals. What the hell have we just witnessed?
Mad, he's not even finishing this game either. He wants to keep.
Wait, Orgless ain't 2! Orgless ain't 2!
At this point, another shot's coming out from Exalt, and somehow they come alive. They come out alive, excuse me, on this one with 13 kills.